Hey everybody, welcome to Module 6. This is going to be a very brief video. I contemplated not even doing one because what I have to say is, very straightforward. This past week, we completed doing drafts for the class for our main project, and this week we're moving into doing revision. So really, there's not much to say about that. What I want you to do is basically think about this in terms of the process of writing that we've been emphasizing from beginning to end, how we have slowly built our way up to it. And so where we are at now officially is that you have completed the actual getting down of your ideas on a page. We started with getting an idea, building an idea, researching an idea, mapping out an idea, and now we've enacted that plan and put the words all down on a page. And what we have to understand is that that is not an end to it. That once that is done, then we go in for fine tuning. That now we go in to try to make sure that the paper is doing exactly what it needs to do. And that is what you should see as your purpose in revision, all right? Purpose is paramount, is really the big message. I posted an announcement this past week on introductions and how in your introduction, it should be doing all sorts of things. And the last thing that it does is really stress your main point by presenting your thesis. All right. Now, the main point in the form of your thesis is not fulfilling the purpose of getting your message across, meaning that doesn't do it. The whole rest of the paper is also engaged in that same function. And so what you need to do is make sure that everything lines up with that thesis. And that's the main thing that you're doing in revision. You're making sure that your ideas line up. All right. So basically what should happen is in every single paragraph, your reader should never lose sight of what your main message is. And again, that should be explicit in your thesis. All right. So it's definitely going to be explicit in the intro paragraph. As you move into your body paragraphs and start dealing with subtopics that support it and the evidence that support that subtopic and the analysis that deals with it, when you deal with the analysis, remember, part of the reason you're needing to analyze is to line up that subtopic with your main message. And basically the big thing I want you to know is don't be afraid to restate it. All right. I'm sure that in probably high school English class, maybe other college English classes, you've heard teachers say, don't be repetitive in your writing. All right. And so you want to avoid that. You feel like you've said it and that's been done and now it's done. What you need to know is that in academic discourse, repetition is not necessarily a bad thing. Now, you don't want to say the same thing in this, consecutive sentences over and over and over. But what you should think about is that writing an academic argument is really like writing a lesson for teaching your reader what's going on. All right. And repetition is your friend in teaching. You probably, again, you've at least had this experience as a student. You sat in class and you sit there and you know there's going to be a test. So when you hear your teacher repeating the same things, you go, uh-oh, I better write that down because they're repeating it and it must be important. All right. It is a key to really to education. All right. So you are trying to educate and convince your reader. So repetition is your friend. All right. Like I said, you don't necessarily want to do verbatim, word for word, the same message over and over, but it should always be clear to your reader how the information you're presenting relates back to what you're mainly trying to do. And if that requires you to overtly say that now and again to make sure that your reader hasn't dropped off away from, hasn't lost track of what you're doing, then you should do it. All right. Don't be scared of it. Jump into it. At the end of the day, again, this is just the revision. You know, you'll get feedback from me. But you know, so you'll have plenty of time for making changes. If you feel like it's repetitive, too repetitive, make a note of it. All right, and let me know, and I'll decide for you whether I think it's too repetitive. All right, so deal with your revision. Remember, your main thing with revision is to make sure your main purpose comes through. You have a big argument that you're trying to present. Don't let it get lost in the details. All right, that's the thing. So get on with that. If you have questions, if you have problems, let me know and we will deal with them. All right, till next time, adios.